claims that Kick is likely juicing Asmon's payout to the moon to entice others. Asmon is usually popular, but if you don't think Kick juices earnings to the moon, then you don't know how business works. 150 viewers. It's about what I average. I even got Multistream turned on right now. I am 3 days into the new pay cycle. This is not including the subs from today's stream so far, and it is not including the partner income that is going to come from today. But yesterday I streamed a total of 6 hours and I made $282. I did have a juicer day the other day. I had like 600 viewers at one point. It was maybe like an hour. That's off of just a few days of the week. So payouts happen. So it is currently Friday. The week stops on Tuesday. Tuesday is the last day that everything processes. When you're Kick verified, you get weekly payouts. So everything stops Tuesday. That's the last day. Wednesday, it all restarts. So this is Wednesday and Thursdays total pay. Great question. How many times in a month do you have to stream gambling? If I was just on Kick, none. I, Big E, chose to reach out to Stake, completely separate team, to get a Stake deal. And I have to stream a total of like 28 hours a month, and that's completely separate pay. Completely separate chat, group of individuals, everything. Just like when I streamed on YouTube, I had to stream a total of 4 hours a week when I was on Bovado, a completely different gambling company. So I got a gambling deal before I ever came to Kick. If I personally didn't want to partner with a gambling company, if I didn't like gambling, I would not have to stream gambling at all. Any of you guys can come to Kick, make this money, and not have to stream gambling. Also, too, it's actually good that you pointed that out. When you gamble, you don't get hourly pay. Why is that? Because they want that separation. They want that distinct separation. Because idiots on the internet associate the idea that the only way you can get paid on Kick is to gamble, and they want to snip that in half. And it doesn't matter if you're on Stake, Roobet, fucking BC Gaming, Bovado. Doesn't matter what gambling company you're with. You gamble on Kick, you cannot get hourly pay. So there's this articulation that they're only boosting a few individuals to gas up their shit. And this also doesn't help because people that only stream on Kick 3 times a month and 3 times a week, they'll put like 5 hours in, they'll make like $20, right? In Kick pay. And then they bash the site. There is countless people. We've had countless people. We got old peeps in chat right now. Peeps, how many viewers do you get? According to the dashboard stream charts, about 130. Okay. So what's your Kick partner pay typically look like at about 130 average CCV? At about 150 per a 10-hour stream. With the Kick tournament network, our last tournament broadcast had about 300 CCV, 3-hour stream. It was about $80 in partner pay. People are of different value. Some creators will average 100 viewers, right? Okay, you take 2 creators. Creator 1 can average 100 viewers. Creator 2 can average 100 viewers. Creator 1 can average 100 viewers by 200, 300 people coming through in a 5-hour session. Creator 2 could average 100 viewers by 2,000 people coming in a 5-hour session. When I do PC monthly giveaways, it blows up. So much traffic, so much subs thrown that when I see the big numbers, 200 average per stream for 8 to 10 hours. So you're saying the days where your chat is hyped because of the giveaways, that's where your pay is higher. That tracks, by the way. A couple of my biggest days that I ever had, there's 3 days since Kick partner pay. There's 3 days where I made over $1,000 in one stream, and 2 of them were from giveaways, and one of them was when we watched the election. But again, chat was going. When I do my giveaways, by the way, guys, I do everything via like, all right, everybody, we're about to raffle. Everybody types a specific code in chat, and then like chat goes yada, yada, yada. Whenever I do those giveaway streams, yeah, my Kick pay goes up. Yeah, so then that tracks. Honestly, Gator, that's really not that bad. I average 40 to 60 CCV. Stream about 15 to 20 hours a week, and my pay is usually around $4 to $9 an hour. That's guys. You see what I'm saying? Let's go on the average end. Let's say that's $7 an hour. Let's just like meet in the middle. For 15 to 20 hours a week and getting $7 an hour to just do something you're doing anyways, what are we bitching about? And how is that still not good pay? I'm telling you right now, that's more than you're gonna make in Twitch ads. That is 100%. 100% more than what you're going to make in Twitch ads. Theoretically, you average, if you get like 40 to 50 viewers, you even just stream 20 hours a week, you can earn an extra $140 a week, $150 a week. Let's round up, whatever. You can earn an extra $150 a week. How is that not fucking crazy? And that we're talking about that Kick pay. $150 a week is groceries. Yeah, just to come in and hang out. I mean, that equates to like just 4 days a week, you stream 5 hours, 5 days a week, you stream 4 hours. If Monday through Friday, Hassan wants to bitch about fucking this not being for the average Joe, you can stream 5 days a week, 4 hours on your off time. You gain, if you can get even 20 subs a week, 10 subs a week, that's $47.50. And if you can get $7 an hour on the pay, that is $200 a week that you can get just streaming in the afternoons. $800 a month is if you're a couple and a family, that's like half the rent, half the mortgage covered, and just fucking casually streaming. That's not even like full grind. So to say that only the big are juiced is just not accurate. But even still, some people would be like, look, I love how he says this: you don't know how business works. But then you always hear the debate. How is that even possible? Why do they even do that? Explain to me why the platform would spend so much money operating at a loss. I put together this little thread today. Several major businesses have operated at a loss in the red for years before finally becoming profitable. Here are some of the most notable examples. Number one, Amazon. Ironic that number one is Amazon. Years in the red, 6+ years. Founded in 1994. First profit quarter, Q4 2001. Why it took so long. Amazon focused heavily on growth, reinvesting revenue into expanding operations, infrastructure like warehouses, and customer acquisition. Jeff Bezos famously prioritized long-term growth over short-term profits. Guys, literally, the fucking owner of Kick has blatantly said the whole concept of this is they want to take over the market, show that a platform doesn't have to rip off the creators to become successful, and show that long-term there's going to be other ways to monetize the platform outside of riddling the post, riddling the content with advertisements. Number two, Tesla. Founded years in the red, 10 years. Founded in 2003, first year profit 2020. Example number three, Spotify. Years in the red, still not profitable as of the mid-2020s. Founded in 2006. Spotify's been around that long. Uber. Years in the red, over a decade. Founded in 2009. Uber's a great example. Uber came out and essentially bled money dry to put taxis out of service. And then when they put the competitors out of service, price hike. It's low pricing and aggressive market tactics delayed profitability. Number five, what did you guys just mention? Netflix. We talk about Netflix all the time. Netflix did the same thing. I remember when Netflix early on, I don't know if you guys remember that. Remember the days where we used to go to like places to rent DVDs and rent games? Remember Netflix came out, and remember people were like, yeah, this will never last. And then I remember when like you could start just paying for the thing and watching all the stuff. They're like, no way this is legal. No way this can last. No way this is sustainable. Now, I would argue that most people in here have a Netflix. These companies demonstrate how tech and platform-based businesses often operate at a loss to prioritize growth, scalability, and market dominance. Exactly what Kick is trying to do. Often betting on future profits once scaled and customer loyalty are achieved. This opens up the other side of the box. Yeah, but where does Kick get their money from? Why don't you tell me that? You're avoiding the fact that Kick gets their money from Stake. The question no Kick creator wants to answer is the following. If Kick runs no ads, only takes 5% of the cuts of subs for processing fees, how does Kick make money? Answer: by getting each creator audience addicted to crypto gambling. I've answered this literally 1,000 times. Stake, before the existence of Kick, was a multi-billion-dollar business without streaming. They are one of the largest sponsors in sports, including two dominant sports that are very successful, UFC and F1 racing. Stake is so popular in the world of online gambling and casinos themselves that 7% of the world's Bitcoin transactions go through Stake. Do you guys realize how fucking massive they are outside of needing to be in fucking streaming, you're delusional if you think the only way that stake is profitable is by the live streaming market. It's a concept just like related to these things. Very simple. Guys with billions of dollars don't like how Twitch lies to their creators, so they said fuck it and launched a competitor. They have fucking money. Eddie himself has said in public interviews, vocally, on camera, the whole plan is to eat shit for 5 to 7 years so they can take over the market, take over all the eyes, take the traffic, bleed everything away from Twitch, and then become valuable. Then figure out a way to monetize it without forcing unstoppable ads, which is their fucking problem. As creators, it's not our fucking problem. That's their issue. And what's funny is it was completely fine when Amazon, Netflix, and Uber did this, but for some reason with Kick, it's not viable. They're not going to be able to do this. Yet stake was profitable within 2 to 3 years, but you conveniently left that out, even though you're defending Kick. Yes, stake is owned by the same company that owns Kick. EasyGo owns stake. EasyGo is the tech company that owns and operates stake. They're the ones that put the site together, that make everything about, especially with operating Stake US. They're the ones that operate everything, which means with Kick, instead of getting investors from all around the world involved, like everyone else on the list that I included here, Kick has its own investors where they can just dump their own money. Before you make a response about the ethics of money, why don't you do a little research into who invested into half these companies on that list, including Amazon? So, and I just like using Amazon as an example because the theory is people are saying Kick is not good because it gets money inherently from a crypto site. But for some reason, Amazon, who has had people tied to notoriously bad money throughout history, for some reason, it's okay with them. BlackRock puts money into everything, though, to be fair. You're absolutely right. That's completely fair. But if we're talking the world of ethic, we're talking the world of morality, morally, you shouldn't stream on Kick because it doesn't matter. That argument goes out the window because you don't measure morals in percentages. You can't say, well, streaming on Twitch is only 10% bad because BlackRock's involved with everybody. So they're only 10% bad. Kick is 80% bad. No, it's either bad or good. Hypocritical is what it is. Morals don't exist with huge companies. Bingo. If you think Amazon hasn't blown up in the last 20 years and hasn't taken advantage of child labor in some ways, hasn't taken advantage of underpaying individuals for higher demand, I think didn't they have huge backlash because like their delivery drivers were having to like piss in bottles or some shit? Amazon literally got to the point where it is today to where it can cover the tab for Twitch by doing shady shit, period. For some reason, this argument constantly gets back to the point of Kick has to fix everything. Kick has to solve the problems. Kick can't get any questionable money. Everything else can. Kick can't dump money into the platform to become valuable in the future. Every other platform could do that. The only reason most people feel this way, by the way, is because of it's because of individuals like this. Hypocritical, large creators that don't fact check anything and they just throw around insane shit. This is the only line you need to see. There's a reason why only weirdos stream on Kick. Creating this narrative to there's no fact, by the way, to this. There's no actual fact. There's actually a lot of beautiful, genuine people that stream on Kick. We have a person chatting in chat right now. Old Peeps, TTRMSP. It's just a great example of a good human being. This guy streams on Kick. He operates a business where he helps server space. He helps people optimize PCs. He builds PCs. And you know what the greatest thing is this guy does? Is he donates PCs, setups, gaming rigs to veterans and disabled first responders, right? Or is it just veterans? This guy in chat is a beautiful person, and he's a Kick streamer. Just vets. Okay, sorry. To articulate that just because he utilizes Kick and its tools to be able to give... Oh, I didn't even give you the kicker. I didn't even give you the kicker. He donates everything he earns from Twitch, Kick, all the content, he donates it all back to veterans. Every bit of it does not go into his pockets. It goes back to veterans. I got some computer parts laying around. I said, I don't know what to do this. He said, hey, I'd love to come down. If you got a PC, I'd love to come down. I'll clean it for you. I'll do everything. and I'll even write you a receipt for it, and I'll donate it to a veteran. How is that fucking weird? How is that a weirdo? So the problem that we have nowadays is you have fucking douchebags like this that they try to block. They don't agree with the site. They're on a competitor's site.
Rogan told me all vets are scum on Twitch. Why would peeps do that?
And then they say this: Twitch has the best community functions plus rev. It's a blatant lie. That's a blatant lie. You go to YouTube, you get better cut. You go to Kick, you get better cuts. You go to, I think you go to Trovo, you go to Rumble, you go to fucking all these other like third-party sites. They have better cuts. Twitch quite literally has the worst rev cuts out of any platform. What we are seeing is over the last couple years, Kick has actually become a real competitor to Twitch, and individuals that have made their whole entire identity in an alliance to Twitch try to paint a picture that Kick is a bad place for the debate, and that's why everybody believes it. Again, people go back to this idea of like, well, how will Kick be profitable? Because they want to compare it to Twitch, because they think Twitch is profitable. Twitch is not profitable. And there are plenty of other ways where you can build profit on a website outside of how Twitch has tried to build profit on their website. I gave the one example. You could create a community feature, a community tab on Kick, to where instead of us going to other platforms, you could just read articles. You could have community pages. You could have discussion solely from Kick. You could drive so much traffic and SEO from sites like Google. If you have blog posts, articles directly on Kick, you could create genuine discoverability on Kick, and then you could riddle ads on that shit. A case in point from that would be just like a good example. And this, guys, this is just one example. I'm not saying that this is just going to make the platform extremely profitable, but like, let's just make an example right here. Let's use an article on something from Dexerto, how to get tokens fast in Black Ops 6. Theoretically, if Kick would incorporate something like this into their site where you could host offline discussions and creators could create their own blogs and you could put how to set up a stream, something like this. But this is how to get tokens fast on Black. Guys, this is just a fucking gaming website who blew up on Twitter from supplying gaming news, gaming information, being a part of the leading source for influencer, streamer, gaming, and viral content. And then they made a website and they monetized the website. Look at the page right now. Sour Patch Kids is running ads on this fucking website. Navy.com. The Navy has invested into this website. GoDaddy is currently advertising on this website. Again, I'm not saying they make a community tab and that will just automatically make them profitable. I'm just giving you an example that I'm just some dipshit, okay? I'm just some dipshit here, right, guys? I'm just a dipshit on social media, and I just presented a way where Kick could bring in an extreme amount of additional revenue without forcing ads on live streams and taking from the creators' pockets. Hell, I would even argue at this point, Kick could make an L move and say, hey, we're going to take 15% of sub revenue to help drive revenue into the site. You still getting 80% of subs. So if they came out with this feature that I just like showed, a community thing where they could advertise there, if they just even started taking 15% per sub, and they also put ads on the side of streams and underneath streams. There's so many ways that we're not thinking of yet. There's so many other ways that they could monetize the platform that we don't even realize. Look at how TikTok monetizes theirs. TikTok doesn't just monetize off of the ads. They also monetize off of distributing the brand campaigns themselves to creators. And the idea from that is, instead of just putting ads on front of streams, imagine if you had a backend where advertisers could dump millions of dollars into campaigns and creators could go and select those campaigns specifically and get percentages of those campaigns to actually push said ad. I mean, like, brother, it's fascinating to me. It was just only a few years ago, because of TikTok, by the way, that you could monetize your Instagram. Creators didn't even make Instagram pay. And creators built huge brands over there. And nobody even questioned, how is any of this profitable? Nobody gave a fuck. But for some reason with Kick, nope, they got to figure it out. And we're only in two and a half years 2.5 years. I think they came out December 2022, towards the end of 2022. Guys, we're only 2.5 years. The way that I see it is, okay, let's say they don't even become profitable and they have to shut down after their initial window. We know we got 5 years. Every creator has 2 years, 2.5 years to hunker down and grow an extra stream of revenue here. And here's the thing. Kick isn't even telling you to do it specifically on Kick. They encourage multi-stream. I'm multi-streaming right now, and I'm still getting Kick hourly pay. You don't even have to leave your site. You just add Kick to the rotation. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? Because they want to fucking bring the market over here. They want to encourage you guys to add Kick as a multi-stream, start working for an hourly pay, get the 95.5 sub split. So then that way you're more encouraged to actually bring people over here. And this is why during the duration of these multi-streams, everybody, you see that side chat there? No matter how red that wall is, no matter how many Twitch people end up coming in here, by the end of the stream, it's all green. When you explain how it works, it doesn't seem like that crazy, right? Dump more money in it, make it hype, make it to where it's shocking. Everybody's talking about it. Then everybody wants to actually try it. And then they add it to it. And then lo and behold, they find out, wow, this is just a streaming service. That's interesting. Do you think more college football programs will do more ads on platforms as an example? Yeah, I think Jalen, I think we're going to see a world where not only just esports gets more involved with this. Oh, by the way, guys, we didn't even mention that side of monetization. Take in mind, Twitch is burning a lot of bridges in the esports space. Esports exacerbated the growth of Twitch over X amount of years. And then Twitch turned around and started cucking them. Twitch wants to dominate and control everything and wants to get their greedy hands into the pockets of everything. And it's ruining esports. Esports is just one example of a great way where a site can monetize. Now imagine a world where fucking college football programs started streaming certain things and they got more involved, and you have fucking networks in the live streaming space of where you could check in to see what Michigan football is up to, what the Panthers are doing. It's a completely realistic world. Have to outlive YouTube. They might have to outlive Twitch, which won't take 5 years. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good take. I think I don't think Twitch is a big competitor to Kick. I really don't. I think the big competitor to Kick is YouTube. That's exactly why I think Kick needs to adapt some kind of offline social media consumption. Okay, if a streamer's not live, why else are you here? What other conversation are you creating when the streamer's not live? Because on Twitch, that's death.